So resuming from Sri Harinamamrita Vyakaranam, Akhyat Prakaranam. Um, so this Akhyat, the verbs, the dhatus are the root of the whole grammar of the whole Sanskrit language, we can say. Mhm. Anything we see, any word we see, mostly like 95% of them, they have their roots in the dhatus, you know. Like the nominal roots are called pratipadikams. Like, we did a declension like Krishna plus Su, so we got Krishna. Krishna plus Au, we got Krishnau. That Krishna, that Prakriti, the first word, so that's called Pratipadikam. That's the nominal root, the original root word. So in Akhyat, this chapter, so the root verb is called Dhatu, the root verb. So those root verbs, the dhatus, are actually the cause of the formation of not only the verbs, like patati, patata, patanti, and so on. They're also the root of the cause of the nouns, even 95% of them, or maybe we can say 99% of them. So, hmm. Yeah, so that's why knowing dhatus uh, is very important. Like your name or my name. So the names are nouns, but there's also uh, verb in it. Like Rama, it comes from the verb ram, Ramu Uparame or Ramu Dhatu. So, from which Rama, Ramana, uh, and what else? All such words they come. Ramante in the verb, if we go verb side, Ramante, Ramate. Even Rama, a name of Lakshmi ji, that comes from this Ramu Dhatu, the root, and so on. So that's why knowing dhatus, and especially, these dhatus, the root verbs, the dhatus are to be known. Like this, Rad, Sanksiddhau, Bhu, Satyayam, Chiti, Sanyane, and so on. So Dhatvadir, okay, the next dhatu we are doing is another Avyakta Shabde. So this is another Avyakta Shabde, which means sound, roar, right? Like there are words like Nad and so on. So 366 says Dhatvadir no nah. Dhatvadir no nah. So this sutra says the initial na of a dhatu changes to na. Now this nad actually is this nad. The dhatu is this. So this is a rule sutra Dhatvadir no nah. It says that if any dhatu uh, which begins with na, so that na will change into na, dantya na. This is the rule. So it will change into nad and so on. So na will always change to na if it is situated at the beginning of a dhatu. So it becomes nad. Okay. Okay, so here are the forms like nad, tip, so Shav Krishna dhatu ke. So na got changed into nad. So we get nadati, nadati, nadataha, nadanti, nadasi, nadataha, nadatha, nadami, nadava, nadamaha, and so on. Then yeah, and then when adhokshaja is there, this nad, this one. So we get nanad, and then we get nedatuhu, adeshahina naradyaksharasya dhaturasya yukta vishnu janamadhasya aramasya naradarshanam ettam cha adhokshaja set thalija. So nanada nedatuhu, neduhu, neduhu. Yeah, I was reading 10th canto of Bhagavatam, first chapter. So when Vasudev ji got married to Devaki and Kansa, Devaki's brother, so he was, he got onto the chariot like as a driver, and he was to drive them uh, to their home on the chariot. So then the shloka, the verse comes that at that time, all the kettle drums, all kinds of vadya yantras, the musical equipments there, so they were played or they sounded. So in there it is the verb used is this one. So it's said nedu, the plural one. So nanad, nedatu, and nedu. So all the the musical instruments they sounded at that time. So nedu. So just an example. Yeah. So that was nat dhatu, and then all other forms. Yeah. If you want to check other forms, just go to this Ashtadhyayi and go to dhatu part and just type here the dhatu you're looking for. Look in Devanagari. So let's say nad. Okay. Nad. Yeah. So if you see here this nad avyakta shabde, the one which we are doing now, just click here and you will see the forms, all the forms. Nadati, nadata, nadanti. Then this nanad, neduhu, neduhu. So in this way you can look up for all the forms. Then the next dhatu is ardha. So this is ardha gatau yachnecha, which means it's used in the sense of going, movement, or yachna to beg also. Actually, dhatus they have their own meanings, but what happens if they are preceded by any of those upasargas like pra, pra. There are many upasargas like prefixes as we say like pra, some, what else? Ni, many 20, 21 of them, and so on. Then the meaning of the verb changes, or yeah. So the upasargas they basically modifies the meanings of the dhatus. So that's why actually dhatus are very intricate, very intricate. No one can really say that I know dhatu. They are like next to the inconceivable Lord, maybe. One of his one of Lord's inconceivable potencies in the forms of dhatus, we can say, on a lighter side. So ardhagatau yachnecha. So ardhati, ardhatah, ardhanti, and so on. Then ardh plus dip. So dhatuh purvamat. So Sarveshwara Adar Vishnendra Prasanga Matre. So when a dhatu begins with a Sarveshwara, so that earth which has to be inserted, so there it becomes Trivikrama first, and then we insert earth, and then again it becomes Trivikrama. So we get Ardat. Now, Adhokshaja, earth plus null, we do the reduplication, then we make it into Trivikrama. By Naradir Aramasya Trivikramaha. So if in the Nara there is a Rama at the beginning, so it will become Trivikrama. So we made it Trivikrama. And then the sutra said, Tasman Nud Dvi Vishnu Jane Dhatu. And after doing Trivikrama of Nara, if the Narayana, the Dhatu, is consisting of two Vishnu Janas, which in this case it has Ra and the, so we will insert Na in between the Nara and Narayana. So that's why we get Anarda. Anarda. So Anarda, Anardatuhu, Anarduhu, Anarditha, Anardatuhu, Anarda, and so on. That's all. Um, then the next dhatu is Idi Paramaishwarya. By the way, the word Indra comes from this Idi dhatu. It means to be most powerful and so on. So Indra comes from this, and many more words come from this. So Iramid dhatu num is applied, which means if any dhatu is having the indicator letter E, then we insert num, and that num will come after the Sarveshwara, the final Sarveshwara, according to Mitahasthanam. What was that? Ante Sarveshwarat Param Mitahasthanam. So we insert na here. So we get, and then Avishnu Padantasya Nasya Masya Cha Vishnu Chakram Vaishnave. The na, which is situated in the Vishnupada and a Vaishnava is following, so that turns into a Vishnu Chakra. And then Vishnu Chakra se Hari Venu Vishnu Varga Vishnu Padanta se Tuva. This Vishnu Chakra further turns into the Hari Venu as per the following letters Varga. So that's Narama. So we get in, IND, in. Looks like India has to do something with this in the Dhatu. India to be most powerful. That's my speculation. So, by the way, I said India, so we call it Bharata. Now, Bha is a dhatu, which means like Gyan, actually, which literally means Prakash. We say Abha, we say Bhati, Prabha. So Bha literally means Prakash. So could also be intended, Gyan could also be understood in the sense of Gyan, knowledge. So Bha, and the second word is Rata. What is Rata, if I may ask? Rata, like it means absorbed, absorbed, Rata. So it means, so Bhayam Ratah, which is Jnane Ratah or Prakashe Ratah, but one who is absorbed in illumination or in knowledge. That is Bharata. Very nice meaning. The country, this place, the region which is always absorbed in illumination or knowledge is Bharata. So, yeah, so this is what uh, Sanskrit helps us with. So, yeah, so we get in, and then Shab, Tip, Indati, Indataha, Inanti. And then Idi, Dip, Bhuteshwara. So this Sarveshwara Adir Vrishnindro at Prasanga Matre. So this Sarveshwara takes Vrishnindra. So Idvese Ai, and then Shab. So we get Aindat. Hmm. So there is also a name Aindra. Like in ISKCON, we had one very senior devotee, Aindra Prabhu. The name is this Aindra. Indra. So that actually comes from Indra. Like from Pritha we get Partha, from Madhu we get Madhava. Similarly, from Indra we get Aindra. Uh, 1 second, Prabhu. Yeah, so that's why it's Indra and Indra. So, hmm. Richa Varjita Gurvishwarade Ramadhokshade. Okay. Okay, this is interesting. Uh, so when Adhokshara Pratyaya follows, then what happens? This arm is applied after any dhatu except for Richa dhatu. So, what kind of dhatu it should be after which arm is applied? So that dhatu should begin with an Ishvara, that is Guru. The dhatu should begin with an Ishvara, that is Guru. So now if you look at in the dhatu, in. So now this Irama looks like a Vamana, but it is Trivikrama. On what basis? Because Satsangat Purva Vamanopi Guruhu. That if we have a Vamana Akshara, which is followed by a Satsanga, conjunct consonant, then that Vamana Akshara is also considered a Trivikrama Akshara. We had studied this in the very first chapter, Sangya Prakarana. So thus, this Irama is a Guru, is a Trivikrama Akshara. So thus we will apply arm after this. So we get indam. We get indam. Okay. Then what? Richa Guru, so we applied arm when when null is following. So basically it's like this. So we have ind and we have the null, like this. And we apply arm here. So we get indam and null remains. Now at this point, the sutra says amah kri bhastayonu prayujyante. The dhatus dukri, bhu, and or us are added after am. Now, when this is the situation, these three dhatus they are added, sequentially one by one. In between, after indam, in between indam and null, the pratyaya here. So actually, it will take a couple of sutras to do this. Okay, we'll stop here and we'll resume this in the next class. It will take a couple of sutras to do. This is a little technical also. So,
Okay, Prabhuji.
yeah. We'll resume it in the next class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.